This is Dave Brixius.
This is the man Joe Cleese.
And this is the program, the CFA edition. And we're here, man. 2 weeks down to the playoffs. We're into the finals, man, the championship, which is always a great weekend. They do a great thing there with the Saturday, Sunday. Saturday games pretty much pit most of the Federal Conference. They're up at West Perry. So if you guys, anybody gets a chance, definitely get out to see those. I think they start sometime around noon. So get up there. It's a great field. Great area up there, actually. They just put some turf in a couple years ago, so it's going to be fantastic.
It's like about 5 games going on, too.
Yeah, 5 games going on. So they go all the way up to, 7?
Yeah.
I think it's the last game's at 7 o'clock. So you get a lot of games in. And it's going to pit some good teams. You know, a lot of the number 1 seeds, I think, in the Federal Conference from the Pee-wees all the way up 1. So you had your Northern Pee-wee team. They're going to be battling West Perry right there on West Perry's home field as a 2 seed. They got by Gettysburg in a close one, 7-6. West Perry did. As you can tell, it always comes down to something with special teams. Can you get the 2-point conversion? Can you get the 1? Definitely comes down to see who can get that job done.
And teams that have field goal kickers, you know, they have a big advantage.
Yeah, because you get 2 points for that, so it definitely pays off when you have that, when it comes down to a close game. Northern, on the other half, took care of Halifax, 32-14. So that's going to be the championship game for the Pee-wees, Northern versus West Perry. Going on to the ponies. West Perry took out Halifax in that game, 26-6. And then Northern blanked Bowling Springs, 24-0. So you're going to have West Perry on their home field playing Northern.
That's a home advantage right there.
You definitely have that. But that's how it's set up, you know. You definitely have the opportunity to host these games and things like that. And West Perry got afforded the ability to do that. I guess they put in for it, and they got awarded that one. So going into the midget ones, no surprise here that Greenwood's in there, blanking Halifax. I got to give Halifax credit, like I said. Really respect that program up there. Even though they got blanked 26-0, this has been a Greenwood team that's just pretty much steamrolled everybody.
Yeah.
You know, being 9-0 regular season, then taking care of Susquehanna 56-0 the first one, and Halifax playing them tough. From what I heard, you know, early on and stuff like that. So staying with them,
and he always
eventually pulling away.
Too.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good to see. Going to the other half, Juniata took care of Bowling Springs, the number 2 seed. Juniata was the number 3 seed, 7-6. Once again, close game, coming down to that special teams. You getting the 1 point, you getting the 2. It ended up being Juniata playing Greenwood. So it pretty much fared out as most people expected at the beginning of the playoffs. The number 1 seed's going on, number 2 in the Pee-wees and ponies, and then you had the number 3 there in Juniata. So it pretty much all held true to form when it came down to it.
And you know, in the middle of those games, you see that Pee-wee matchup between York and Harrisburg. Redline actually played the York Bears pretty tough, and you know, as we've been talking about the York Pee-wees all year long, they've pretty much been steamrolling everybody. So, you know, Redline game a tough game. You know, will Harrisburg do the same?
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah,
definitely. You know, we have been talking about York a lot, but I mean, the reason being is because what they've done. I mean, the amount of points they put up, the number of shutouts they put up. I think it was the first 5 games of the season, the hell of a shutout.
Yeah.
And they continued it, you know, at times here.
And we talked about it. You know, we're dealing with kids here. You know, I mean, you never know what could be happening at home. Maybe you got the Xbox thing. You just never know these things. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, you definitely could get the Xbox taken away, or the iPhone.
But speaking of York, just want to give a shout out to the York Smurfs. They won Smurf Bowl for the 2nd year in a row. Shout out to the coach that gave us the information. They played 9 games to win the championship.
I think 5 went to overtime. I think that's what he said in his email. 5 of them went in overtime. So that's pretty impressive in a weekend, just to play 9 games alone. But then 5 going into overtime to win them.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely deserve that that championship, that Smurf Bowl championship, which is awesome. So congratulations to those guys down there. As that was awarded, this past weekend, the weekend before?
Weekend before.
Weekend before.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. So congratulations to York.
And all the action he just spoke on is from Saturday. Sunday's action revolves 2 pony matchups and 2 midget matchups. The pony level, you have number 2 Mechanicsburg versus Stilton for the national championship. And for the American Conference, you have Redland versus Holy Name. And there again, Holy Name is in the thick of things once again.
And I think Redland is the only team that beat Holy Name this year during the regular season. So that should be an interesting matchup because I think Harrisburg, one of the teams, beat Redland to give Holy Name that number 1 seed. And now Redland's back with it. So will Redland get that again and beat Holy Name? Or Holy Name finally get that, revenge? Now, Holy Name, remember, won the Pony Championship last year.
Yep.
So they're going for a repeat. So we'll see what happens this year. Got some of those guys back. Some of them have moved on, which has helped Holy Name up at that midget level. but some are back, so they know what it takes.
Yeah.
But we'll see if Redland has their number this year. You know what I mean? We'll see what kind of. It'll be interesting to see what kind of offense they bring in. You know, to throw Redland off.
All right, and that's the 12 and 145
Okay.
games on that Sunday. And at 3:30, you have East Pennsboro versus Cedar Cliff at the midget level. Number 3 versus number 1 seed. I actually got a chance to see East Pennsboro play Middletown this past Saturday. They were down, I think it was 8-0.
8-0, yep.
8-0, scored 22 straight points to take that game. Kudos to Nick Nugent, number 80, a tight end. Did pretty good on defense and offense. Onassis Neely played pretty good on offense. Actually, he played really good on offense and definitely had a great defensive game. And Peyton Morris, one of the better quarterbacks in the National Conference this year. You know, he actually threw the ball, had some nice touch as well. So, and also shout out to Brady Fox in Middletown, exceptional player.
That's what I heard.
Scored the first touchdown. Had some good runs, but you know, East Pennsboro was able to get it together on defense and pretty much shut them down a little bit in the second half. So. And actually, Coach Matter, I'm not sure this is his first Super Bowl game, but if he wins on Sunday, the East Pennsboro Midgets wins on Sunday. He's been over there for over 50 years.
Oh wow!
Super Bowl, so maybe they can send him off.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Maybe they can. I mean, it's going to be a tough Cedar Cliff team.
Mm-hmm.
Cedar Cliff did have a battle with St. Joe's. I know I got some information during the week with St. Joe's that when they played Cedar Cliff and a lot of teams earlier on in the season, they were missing 3 of their starters, and they were back for this game. And I heard it was a good one. St. Joe's took the ball right down the field to start off the game, went up 8-0. And then, Cedar Cliff came back, scored the next 22, but then, St. Joe scored late and had a chance, to get the ball back. But Cedar Cliff did the job and ran out the clock.
And there's no way around this. East Pennsboro beat Cedar Cliff pretty good the first time
around. You're right.
So,
so is it a payback time or has East Penn got their number? We'll definitely find out here come Sunday, which is always an exciting time.
And then, the last game, next Sunday, on the American Conference, you have Central Dauphin or Langleystown for you old-timers versus Holy Name. And I'm not sure if anybody expected Holy Name to beat the undefeated Packers last Saturday.
Not only beat them.
Yeah, they got them pretty good.
What was the final, 33-6?
I don't want to get into that. But I saw, we talked about this last week. I saw Cedar Cliff a couple weeks ago. They have, one of the best 1-2 punches at running back. Not Cedar Cliff, I'm sorry, Central Dauphin.
Yeah. Their whole team, we talked about them from day one, them winning that Super Bowl last year. They're a very disciplined team, coached very extremely well. So you knew when they get to the playoffs, they know what to do. Because their coaching staff, whether they lost 1 or 2 in the regular season, their coaching staff knows what to do.
Yep.
They know how to get the kids focused. They know how to get them ready. Because these guys won the championship in the Keystone, the last championship when there was the Keystone League, and they came in and won the first championship now in the Combined League now, with all the teams together in the CFA. So they're going for it again. They're going for a repeat in the CFA, but they're going for 3 overall for the midget program. Where their midget program really hadn't had the most success in years past. But now they do. So they're looking to get that 3P for them, 2P in the CFA. But listen, you got Holy Name. That's tradition there.
And they got a secret weapon at coach. I'm not going to put that out there, but
they were an interesting team, I think, all year when we looked at them because they played Harrisburg in the first game of the season extremely well, had a chance to win, ran out of time. So I think that gave them confidence to go and play when they had to play Harrisburg here. But they had to get by Common Valley in the first round, which they lost to. You know what I mean? So they really had to get by that first round game to get to this game. And I think you pointed out the week before, Harrisburg struggled against Paxton.
Yeah.
In that first round, getting by them. So I don't know if something went wrong there at the end of the season. They maybe weren't focused, or maybe they thought, hey, we breezed through it. You know what I mean? We breezed through it. Boom, we're gonna have no problem. So that's going to be an interesting matchup because not only is it Central Dauphin repeat championship and Holy Name a traditional power in the CFA, for years at that midget level, you got backyard.
Yeah.
So these kids grow up together. These kids probably play in the same yard. You probably got in the same development. These kids are all playing together. So you're going to have that also going for you. And Central Dauphin, last game of the regular season, in that rivalry game, beat Holy Name on their field pretty well, pretty soundly. So we'll see if Holy Name can get that revenge, come back and do their job, or Central Dauphin continues that dominance when it comes to that midget level. And both coaching staffs, superb. They know how to get the job done. They know how to get their kids fired up. They know what to do to push the buttons to get to this point. And Hoynian's been out of it, I think, for 2 years now. Having been back in the Super Bowl at the midget level, they're back. And they have a lot of those kids that played at that Pee Wee level last year. That Pony level and won it. They're now up. So we'll see if that helps translate over to this. Central Dauphin already has a lot of those guys, that are repeat guys. So they definitely know what to do to get ready. But I think it's going to be a fantastic game. And look at the atmosphere you're going through Cottage Hill. Can you say anything better up there? You know what I mean?
Still high.
You're going back in time. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
And they actually have home advantage at the pony level. We have Mechanicsburg versus Stilton.
Yeah.
That's a pretty loaded Stilton team at the pony level. So,
loaded.
First game that week.
Loaded.
So, that's Sunday.
Yeah, they ran over New Cumberland 47-0.
Yeah.
Mechanicsburg got by, beat Good Shepherd 16-0. So actually, Mechanicsburg has 2 shutouts in the playoffs here. The first round game was 24-0 over St. Joe's, 16-0. So this should be good. Definitely you think Steel High being at home, in their own backyard there. Yeah, definitely, and the amount of athletes and the talent that they possess. Steamrolling through that league at 9-0, now 11-0, trying to go for that 12-0 perfect record. So we'll see what happens here. But I think this is what we've been talking about this from the summer, the Super Bowl. You and I were at it last year. You saw the atmosphere, the amount of people that came out. I remember standing there, even high school kids coming back that we saw on the sidelines of that Central Dauphin Harrisburg game. And the people in the crowd. It was a packed house.
People want those bragging rights. Even high school kids, they still represent the youth organizations they play for. Paying homage. Giving thanks and coming back. Being an inspiration to kids. Aspiring to play at the high school level at some point.
Yeah, and I think that's what the great thing about this is. You got that awesome atmosphere to come back and play, in front of that many people. You and I was impressed wholeheartedly with how well that was so set up last year, but how many people were at that whole weekend on Sunday that you and I attended. I know you were filming and stuff like that, and we always get treated so nice by both coaching staffs. I know I got shout outs from them saying, hey, you guys want to come on the sideline, please feel free, you're always welcome. But they're always so polite, for doing that for us, to come up, just stand there and be a part of that action right there at ground level.
Like, hey, you're
yes. No, you get that all the time. I bet you're always carrying that camera around, right?
Yeah.
So me, I try to stay incognito, I guess. That's what my job is. They know who you are.
But this will be a great weekend of games. Encourage, maybe you have some time this weekend. If you want to, go to West Parrott, but if you're definitely here in the Harrisburg area, go out, Still High, College Hill, and check out the games this weekend. It's nothing but incredible games. It's
going to be great, and it's supposed to be nice weather. A little cool, but at least sunshine's going to be out. So last year was the same way. It was cool, but the sun, shined, and it was a great atmosphere. And I think, we got to give kids credit for the kids that are still there. This has been months that they've been preparing for this. The kids that are still there, and they're still working hard this week. Getting ready for maybe some of these kids' last chance to play organized football. If they decide not to play at the high school level, but at least at this youth level, it's the end for some of these guys. So this might be their last game. And for all the teams that aren't here, lost. Still a great, very successful season overall for the CFA, and how well they handle a lot of adversity as an organization early on.
Right.
We haven't had to talk about the last 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks of the season with all that stuff that went on early.
Kudos to you parents.
Yeah, definitely calming down there, and the coaching staff and everybody else getting that together. So, but best of luck to all the teams that are still left, the teams that aren't. Definitely get out and support these guys. See what they're, see the teams that you guys played against all year, and giving a shout out to the parents for you guys and dedication for the coaching staff to do it this long and for the players.
You can go to paswag.net, after the weekend. It should have some highlight clips and video as well, so make sure to check that out. And also you can check out this episode and other episodes of the program as well.
Yeah, definitely go back and see some of the old ones, but definitely stop by our booth. I know we'll have a table there at the game on Sunday. Yeah, we'll have a table there, so you guys definitely stop by, say hello to us. You'll have the video camera, so you'll definitely put anybody on, right?
Holler at me.
Sideline, come up and say hello to Joe. He'll definitely put you on tape. He'll tape you up, whatever you want to say.
Maybe.
You'll tape him.
I'll do it.
Maybe you won't. Maybe you won't edit it, but you'll definitely tape it. Well, you guys, best of luck this week and have a great one. We appreciate you guys watching us, and we'll be back again next week to recap this one and then Turnpike Classic All-Star Game.
Yeah.
And then I think they're making the announcements this week for actually first ones go off tonight. I think the American Conference I think has their All-Star picks tonight. National tomorrow, and I think the Federal are on Thursday. So we'll have all those stuff next week. Yep. Okay. So we'll be able to announce that next week for all you guys out there. But thanks, guys. Keep working hard. This is Dave Brixis.
This is Joe Cleese.
This is the program.